I never imagined I'd be the one telling this. If someone had told me a year ago that the woman I love would look me in the eye and boast about how she ran my life, I would have called them ridiculous. Life, though, has a way of pulling back the curtain. Here's the night everything unraveled. The night I finally saw Clara as she really was, and the night I told her to leave. It started like any other evening. I came home drained from work, craving dinner and a quiet show. Clara was already home, nursing a glass of wine with a small, self-satisfied smile. At first it was nothing, just her usual composure. But as the night went on, she grew bolder. She'd invited a few friends over. I joined them for a while in the living room. Then one of her friends teased, "You're so lucky, Clara. He does everything for you." Instead of a polite laugh, Clara leaned back, smirked, and said words that would lodge in me forever. "Of course he does. I keep him in line with intimacy. He knows he can't say no." Everyone else chuckled, but I didn't. I sat there stunned, the sentence replaying in my mind. At first I tried to dismiss it. Maybe she was joking, trying to be cheeky, but her face told the truth. This was no quip. She said it like a proud admission of power. Something inside me shifted then. I'd spent years bending over backward for her. Late shift to pay the bills, surprise trips, gifts, constantly trying to make her feel wanted. I love her deeply. Now I saw those gestures in a new light. Not as mutual affection, but as tools she'd use to keep me compliant. I kept quiet through the rest of the evening, smiling with clenched teeth as her guests drifted away. Once the door clicked shut, the house felt enormous and still. Clara poured another glass and hummed, oblivious to the storm building in me. Finally I spoke, voice low and steady. "Is that really how you see me?" She blinked, then waved it off. "Don't be so serious. It was a joke." But when I pressed, the smirk returned. "Well, it's not totally false, is it? You do whatever I want. I know how to keep you controlled." That was the last straw. Years of swallowing my pride and putting her first came crashing down. I stood up, walked toward her, and said words I never believed I would. "Pack your things. Get out of my house." For a moment, she looked like she'd been hit. "What did you say?" she whispered, disbelief flickering across her face. I repeated it, calm, final. She laughed at first, as if I'd staged some cruel joke. "You can't be serious. You can't just throw me out." But I didn't flinch. I held her gaze and said, "Watch me." Her next words tried to tug at guilt, reminding me of commitments, shared history, what we built. The more she talked, the clearer it became how little regard she had for who I was. Her fear wasn't for the pain she'd caused. It was that her hold on me was slipping. I fetched a suitcase, dropped it at her feet, and told her to pack. She moved mechanically, stuffing clothes into the case as if the motion itself were an exorcism, each zip easing years of weight from my chest. She tried one last manipulation, a plea or a guilt trip. I don't remember the words clearly, but by then my decision had hardened. When she left, I didn't crumble. I expected devastation, but what I felt was an unfamiliar lightness, like I reclaimed something that had been taken without my noticing. Sitting alone in the living room that night, the same room where she had declared her control, I understood something fundamental. Love should never be used as leverage. People ask if I regret that night, if I regret ending our marriage in such a sudden way. The answer is no. Sometimes the harshest truths free you. If you ever find yourself in a relationship where someone brags about bending you to their will, where affection becomes a bargaining chip, remember you don't have to stay. You can stand up, walk away, and take back your life. Quiet without manipulation is far more peaceful than the noise of a partnership built on control.